Hey everyone, it is me, Fashion Coder, and we are going to go over what you can do as your next steps in the PulseChain launch in mainnet and just how to go about all of that. So as you can see, my number one thing is to stay calm, that this is all going to be okay. Now, I know that a lot of people are stressed with everything that's going on. I definitely have been. Like, I've been sleeping different. I have just noticed a shift in myself, and it's because I've been stressed. And so if you have also felt stressed, it's okay, you're not alone, but this is something that's out of our control. So sometimes it's okay, take a couple deep breaths and do something that is not in the realm of crypto or whatever it is. So yesterday, I started feeling really stressed yesterday, and I was like, oh my gosh, I haven't felt like this since high school. So I ended up putting on a movie. I have Lego flowers that I've been working on, so I started working on the Lego flowers. And honestly, since then, I feel like I am in a lot better spot than where I was at yesterday. So stay calm, do something for yourself, take care of yourself, because above all else, that is what matters out of all of this. The number two thing is if you bridged in assets incrementally check. So your assets may have not have been completely bridged over yet, and that's okay. Mine haven't been either, but I think it is good to incrementally check if they have been moved over. So what does that look like? So I myself will look at when I eat breakfast, when I eat lunch, when I eat dinner, and then when I go to bed. So then it kind of doesn't rule you, that it is something that you're able to still look at and still be in the know of, but don't let it just be something that stresses you out, because it will eventually get moved over. It truly will. So that's number two, is just also stay calm with it. It's okay. Everyone else who bridge stuff in is literally in the same position, and it's going to be okay. Number three is to start to watch the price charts. Now, the reason why I put this one on it is for a couple of reasons. The first reason is because as you start to watch the price charts, you're going to probably start to see trends, but also you're probably going to see some volatility within the market. And I think that that's a really good thing, because hopefully it will help you to have diamond hands and to, stick to whatever plan that you ended up making for the PulseChain launch. And also just to kind of see, what is what, to see what is a good price and what isn't a good price. And that just all takes time, and that takes repetition of looking at it. And so definitely check that out, because I think it's going to be an asset in the long run. Number four is to solidify your game plan. Now, I have been talking about this since I basically started making videos, is to have a game plan going into the PulseChain launch. Now, if you didn't have a game plan, that's okay. You can still come up with one right now. But having a game plan is really a great thing to be able to fall back on, because when launch happened, I started freaking out. I truly did. And my dad was the one that was calm. And I felt like I was freaking out inside. I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot how to type. That's where we were at, okay? Because I was nervous, and I mean, I've practiced it so many times that it was just instinctual, going through and doing the things that I did. But that's the thing, is you need to have a game plan to be able to know what things you need to do. So you can make that game plan now. If you have one before, you can revise it to whatever you think is best, but it's something that you can fall back on. And then if you do want to make a change, to actually give it time and thought, because none of us want to get wrecked, and I don't want any of you to get wrecked, and I don't want to get wrecked. And so I think it's really important to have that game plan, because if you do want to change something from it, then you have the knowledge of okay, well, this isn't a part of my plan. Am I going to add it to my plan, or is this maybe something that I should wait and just stick to my plan? So there's that. Something too is, we're looking not in the near future. It's not this month, it's not next month. We are looking forward to the future of 2024 and 2025. And so as you move forward in, looking at what plans you want to do, you're here to hodl. You're here to be here for a while, because that's really where we're going to see those gains. And so, I mean, if you sell it now, like, good for you, like, you do you. But at the exact same time, like, it takes, like, less, at least for me, it takes the stress, like, off my shoulders, like, the weight off my shoulders, that, oh, well, like, this is just something I'm going to deal with, you know, in 2024, 2025. And so I can have my plan of the things I'm going to do now, whether it's, like, farming or staking or, you know, whatever it is. And so, yeah, so make your game plan, because it is honestly crucial to your success. Number 5 is go back to testnet and practice everything. So the one caveat to this is, if you're going to do this, please make sure that you are on PulseChain testnet, because if you're not, like, you could be, like, doing, you know, your different, like, testing things, but actually with your real tokens. But the thing is like, I think it's really important to go in and test it, like, through testnet, because it gives you that practice. And so, you know, I've been talking so much about, you know, go and practice, because it's like what you're going to fall back onto. And I'm so grateful I did practice, because of just how it set me up with the launch and with the bridge. I knew how everything worked going into it, which was great. And if I hadn't practiced, I really truly wouldn't. But you can still go back and practice, because you can still go back to PulseChain V4 for testnet. So think about that. I think it's a great strategy, which also, like, gives you more control if you know exactly what you're doing. So there's that. Number 6 is to, if you sacrificed for other tokens on PulseChain ecosystem, stay tuned and start formulating a game plan. Now, I know this might be kind of hard, but the first thing I would do is write down all of the different sacrifices that you did. Personally, I need to do that, because I can't remember all of the ones that I actually went and sacrificed for, because just so much happened all at once, and I felt like I sacrificed for all of these different things, and then I was like, oh my gosh, which ones actually did I sacrifice for? So creating a list is going to be your number one thing right off the bat, and then formulating a game plan. And like I said, this might be kind of hard to do, because maybe you don't know the functionality of that specific project or what they're going to do, but, like, Liquid Loans is a really good example. Like, there are different strategies that have already been put together that you can go in and use. So maybe, like, figuring out what strategy you want to do or whatever it is. So that is number 6. Number 7 is to turn on tweet notifications for Richard Heart. Now, like I said, none of us want to get scammed. None of us want to have any of these, like, crazy things happen to us. None of us want to get wrecked. And so having the tweet notifications, I feel like, is vital to your success, because Richard Heart will tweet out, you know, the link to certain things. And it's like, I am only going to trust the details that are either given by Richard Heart himself or from the PulseChain website. Like, I will never use or click on links from, like, people that are linking things within Twitter, unless it's YouTube. Like, I click on YouTube links. But you can tell, like, what it is. And so, like, that is so important, because, you know, no one wants to get scammed. And so there's that. Also, like, he has news that he has to tell. So, like, earlier today, he was like, please stop bridging while they figure out the issue. Like, that's awesome. And then the very last thing is number 8, and it is, if you have questions, feel free to ask me. I have actually been really good at answering questions in the comments, which is, like, the first time ever for me. So you can ask questions in the comments. I will hopefully get back to you. I most likely will. And then I've seen people that have been messaging me on Instagram, as well as, like, tagging me in posts on Twitter. And so if you do have questions, like, seriously, feel free to ask them, because I know everyone in this space would rather have you feel comfortable, you know, moving through and doing certain things, than, like, not knowing what's going on. So feel free to ask questions. Also, I get a lot of the same questions where it's like, oh, I made a YouTube video on that. Like, look it up on YouTube too. Like, someone's going to give you an answer as well, probably through a YouTube video. So if you look it up on YouTube, like, you're probably going to be able to find something. And so, seriously though, if you do have any questions, feel free to always put them in my comments or message me or whatever it is, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. So that's it. Those are our next steps for our PulseChain, you know, moving forward in PulseChain mainnet. And I'm just so excited to see what happens, and it's a really good time for all of us to just, you know, sit back, watch, and hodl. All right. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm going to be making so much content about PulseChain mainnet, and I'll see you all later. Bye.